am Manolya. Today I'll mention about the nature of language and linguistics. These are our subtopics: the nature of human language, the nature of linguistics, the nature of grammar. Firstly, the nature of human language. We will focus on fundamental beliefs about language, linguistic science, the rule-governed nature of language, language universals, and creativity, animal communication codes. What is language? Language is a system of arbitrary vocal signs. What meaning? This sound and words arbitrarily linked to their meaning. There is no logical connection between these. For example, there is no reason why this word cucumber signifies to the vegetable. Also, language is rule-governed, creativity universal. Rule-governed language has a lot of rules and structures. These rules enable to operating well language. People have assumptions about language based on their experiences and cultural background, and this situation can influence approach of language. Equating language with writing is a common misunderstanding about the nature of language. Language and writing are related, but they are not same. Language is a system of communication. It consists of symbol rules. Writing represents language by using letters of characters. Connection between words and their meanings. People generally think that there is a connection between the words and its meaning, but it's not true approach because of arbitrariness of language. Voice and words are linked arbitrarily, so there is not any logical explanation. Other assumption is language as action. Language has important power. It's a tool to actuate people. Linguistic science, human language consists of signs which are defined as things that stand for or represent something else. Function of language gives expression to our thoughts, transmit information, express emotion and feelings, provides raw material for work of literature. Linguistic science. Firstly, iconic. These signs have similarities to the things they represent. For example, photographs. Second one, indexical signs. They have necessary connection with the thing they represent. For example, frown indicate anger. The last one, symbolic signs. They have arbitrary relationship with the things they represent. For example, rose symboling love. Sometimes what word represents may be different. A few aspects of language are indexical, for example, pronouns, adverbs. Most language is symbolic. As I said before, there is no connection between sound and word. However, words can be changed. For example, mobile phone from evaluate to smartphone because of some new features. Language universals, innateness and creativity. Language universals, it means that there are features which don't belong to a single language, also found in all other language. There are three main sentence elements: subject, verb, object. There are three primary word orders. Innateness. There is a belief that human language is innate. This approach's meaning is that people born with an inborn capacity learning language. Also, to learn a language, it's necessary that children must be exposed to a language. Creativity in language. There are two main aspects. One of them, endless creative potential of language. Human language has the ability to generate sentences, even invents new words that you haven't been used before. Language is unlimited. The second one, capacity of creating line sentence. Infinitive sentences are possible. Language allows for construction of sentences, adding more components. However, real word sentences are generally constrained by practical considerations. Animal communication codes. Language is an important feature which distinguishes humans from animals. Every animal group has a special communication code. Animal languages generally is depending on stimulant. Animal communication codes are maybe iconic and natural, but they are not symbolic. In contrast to human languages, animal languages are finite. There is a big difference. While animals focus on what, people focus on how. It's important to animals how something is said, but it's not important to humans. But it's important to humans. The nature of grammar, definition of grammar. Grammar is the set of rules of language. Prescriptive grammar, it's set of rules for language that dictate what is considered correct in a language. It consists of punctuation, spelling, sentence structure, and word choice. For example, if your subject is animals, you cannot use it. You need to use they. Descriptive grammar, it seeks to describe, understand language. It focuses on observing how a language is used. Policy concerning grammar. Every language has a grammar, and grammars can be diverse. Policy of simplicity. The term of simplicity can be changed language to language. We cannot say something exact about simplicity. Simplicity in a language unclear. While a grammar rule is simple, the other is hard to understand in a language. So there is a balance. For example, in English there are 4 inflection of verbs, but in Turkish it's complexible because of different inflection. The other fallacy is grammar need to be logical. Grammar deterioration. Language changes in time, but changing is not bad thing. The other fallacy is that there are random differences among 4 languages. The last one is equating spoken and written grammar. Grammar of written is more regular than grammar of spoken. So spoken language is also disfluent because of fault-like repetitions. Linguistics and components of language. Linguistics is defined as study of language system. There are 5 components of language. These are phonology, morphology, syntax, semantic, and pragmatics. First one, phonology. It's branch of science that studies certain language sounds. Phonology studies of functions of sounds in language, examines how sounds are articulated. It can be divided into categories of sounds, consonants, vowels, and semi-vowels. Morphology, it's a linguistic discipline that studies the internal structure of words, suffix and roots. Syntax, the branch of linguistics known as syntax, examines the composition and structure of sentences. It describes how words and phrases are put together to make proper sentence. Semantic is the study of meaning that is used to understand human expression through language. Pragmatics, it's a systematic way of explaining language use in context.